In this video, I'll be showing you exactly what I would do if I had $1.9 million at 58 sitting in my RRSP, and why my entire plan would be built around one goal: shrinking that account before it becomes a tax problem. Through working with clients at this exact savings level and age, I've discovered that the worst thing you can do at 58 with a large RRSP is wait until 65 or 71 to touch it, because that's how Canadians end up with massive RRSP withdrawals that crush their taxes and wipe out their OAS. That's exactly why I'm making this video today, to walk you through the exact multi-year drawdown plan I would use to right-size the account, protect my benefits, and make sure my money works for me. Let's get right into it. If you have $1.9 million in an RSP at age 58, on paper, that looks great. It's a great position to be in, but from a retirement income and tax planning perspective, it's also a problem waiting to happen if you leave it on autopilot. Here's why. If that 1.9 million is left untouched, it likely has another 13 years to grow before it must be converted to a RRSP at the end of the year you turn 71. Even with fairly conservative growth assumptions, that balance can easily push towards $2.8 million in today's dollars, or more by the time of mandatory withdrawals. And once you're forced into RRSP withdrawals, the government decides the minimum you have to take out every single year. On a balance of that size, you're quickly looking at a six-figure annual withdrawal, in that case, over $150,000, whether you need the income or not. Now layer in CPP and OAS on top of that. Those RRSP withdrawals stack directly on top of your government benefits, pushing many retirees into much higher tax brackets than they would have ever experienced while working. This is how people who did everything right during accumulation suddenly find themselves paying 40% tax or more in retirement. The account you built for safety and security quietly becomes the source of your biggest lifetime tax bills. Most Canadians don't see this coming at 58, and that's completely understandable. For the last 30 years, the message has been simple: contribute, invest, defer tax, let the RSP grow. Very few people are ever shown that accumulation and distribution are two completely different planning problems. And to be blunt, financial institutions are paid based on assets under management. So larger RSP balances are good for them, so there's very little incentive to warn you about what those balances do once withdrawals become mandatory. By the time most people realize there's a problem, usually in their early 70s, the damage is already locked in. So yes, 1.9 million at 58 is a ticking tax time bomb. Here's exactly what I would do about it. From age 58 onward, my entire focus would shift from growing the RSP to intentionally shrinking it while I still have control. I would map out a steady multi-year drawdown plan, starting at retirement and going right to age 70 or 71. Depending on other income sources and lifestyle needs, figure out how much we're taking each year. The idea is not to drain the account overnight, and it's not about panic. It's about using lower tax years on purpose. Once earned income has slowed down or stopped for retirement and CPP and OAS haven't started yet, that creates what is often the lowest lifetime tax window you will ever have. During those years, I would look to withdraw something in the range of roughly $55,000 to $90,000 per year from the RSP, depending on other income sources and investments. The exact number always depends on the person, but the objective is to stay within reasonable tax brackets, right? So these withdrawals should keep you between 23 and 29% for your marginal tax rate if you're in Ontario. And done consistently, this kind of approach can reduce the RSP by $700,000 to over $1 million plus, plus the growth over your early retirement years. And depending on CPP and OAS timing, you may want to take more once you can split that income at age 65 with your spouse. So instead of allowing the account to grow into $2.8 million or more, you might be entering your 70s with something closer to $1.5 million. That difference alone dramatically changes everything. The reason this works is simple. Voluntary withdrawals at controlled tax rates are almost always better than forced withdrawals at higher tax rates later. Paying tax at 23% today to avoid paying 45% later on money you don't even need is not aggressive planning, it's rational planning. Those early retirement years before CPP and OAS start are the most valuable tax years you have. Using them well is one of the most powerful planning levers available to Canadians at this stage. So I'm drawing down the RSP systematically but I'm not just spending it. Here's where that money goes. As the RRSP withdrawals come out, and after I have taken care of my lifestyle needs, the after-tax portion left over needs a new home. So the first stop every single year is the TFSA. I would fully maximize available tax-free savings account contribution room using those after-tax dollars. That immediately converts money that would have been fully taxable in the future into an account that grows tax-free and comes out tax-free. Just as importantly, TFSA withdrawals don't count as income. They don't affect your tax bracket, and they don't trigger OAS clawback. Once TFSA room is fully used, any remaining funds would flow into a non-registered investment account. While these accounts aren't tax-free, they are more flexible and more efficient for income purposes than RRSP or RIF withdrawals, because only a portion of the capital gains are taxable on withdrawal as opposed to the full withdrawal amount. What I'm really doing here is repositioning money. I'm moving it from taxable later at unknown rates into tax-free forever and tax-efficient withdrawals with flexibility. That flexibility matters more than most people realize. TFSA balances don't show up in OAS clawback calculations. Non-registered accounts give you control over the timing and character of income. Together, they give you choices in retirement that a pure RRSP strategy simply doesn't provide. The ability to decide where income comes from each year is often more valuable than chasing a slightly higher rate of return. And now that you see the drawdown and repositioning strategy, if you want help building your dream retirement as a whole, click the link below to book a call where I'll analyze your specific situation and show you how to optimize your plan altogether. With RRSP drawdown underway, the next major decision point is CPP. From the age of 60 right up to the age you take CPP, between 60 and 70, I will be running detailed CPP projections. There's no universal right answer here. The decision depends on health, longevity, expectations, cash flow needs, and the size of the remaining portfolio. That said, in most cases, delaying CPP right to the age of 70 provides the biggest impact on success. Now, when I say success, I'm talking about both limiting future tax and creating more sustainable lifetime income. When CPP timing is coordinated with the RRSP drawdown along your overall plan, the entire income picture becomes smoother and more predictable. CPP timing is one piece, but how do you protect OAS? So old age security is one of the most misunderstood parts of retirement planning. By keeping RRSP and RIF balances under control, I'm also keeping taxable income under control. That matters because OAS starts getting clawed back once income rises above the annual threshold. So for every dollar above that threshold, you lose 15 cents of OAS until it's completely clawed back. The smaller RIF at 71 means smaller mandatory withdrawals at 72 and beyond. And that makes it far easier to keep income below clawback levels, or at least reduce how much OAS is lost. Even projecting 5,000 to 7,000 of OAS per year over 25 years in retirement adds up to well over $100,000. So it's real money. If you don't execute a drawdown strategy, the opposite happens. Large RIF withdrawals push income well past clawback thresholds, OAS is reduced or eliminated, and the remaining RIF income is taxed heavily. You get hit with higher taxes and lost benefits at the same time. So that double penalty is one of the most expensive retirement mistakes Canadians make, and it almost always starts with waiting too long to act. Now that you understand how the plan protects OAS, let's put all the pieces together so you can see why this approach beats letting the RRSP grow. This strategy is not about being anti-growth. It's about staying in control. By drawing down the RRSP intentionally, I prevent RIF explosion that destroys tax efficiency. By repositioning it into tax-free savings accounts and non-registered accounts, I create flexibility in how income is taken while continuing to let my wealth grow. By coordinating CPP timing, I optimize guaranteed income while allowing for that low tax window to smooth out income. And by managing withdrawals carefully, I protect OAS. This is why the mindset matters. If you wait until RIF withdrawals are forced, the government controls your tax situation. Between 58 and 71, you still have the ability to decide when and how much to withdraw. Waiting for growth just builds a larger problem that compounds against you. A smart early drawdown keeps taxes predictable, preserves benefits, It keeps your money working for you instead of Ottawa. Now that you've seen exactly what I would do with $1.9 million at 58 in my RRSP and how a low income year's drawdown plan shrinks the account, repositions it into TFSAs and non-registered accounts, coordinates CPP timing, and protects OAS by preventing income spikes, you can apply the same framework to your own situation. If you want help building your dream retirement, click the link below to book a call where I'll analyze your RRSP and show you exactly how to execute a drawdown strategy that works for your specific numbers. And I'll see you in the next video.